A wise man once said, the biggest pumps come after the dirtiest dumps. If only somebody would have told me that before prom night, am I right, brothers? Guys, right now people are excessively bearish on Bitcoin, but we're gonna go through specific price targets that I'm looking for in the short term for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and what my view of what is going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum right now is. Let's jump in. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Willy Wiggles, and we have so much to be jumping into today with Bitcoin's price. Guys, I've spent quite a bit of time here on Twitter today, and boy oh boy, it's as if the earth is collapsing. But wow, do I have some interesting and important data that we're going to be dumping into in today's webisode. So we're not going to waste too much time. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you absolutely love gainers. And without any further goo gaga, let's dive in. Absolutely savage. What a day, guys. We can start off here. The SPX actually rallying to a very nice, pretty substantial, brand new all-time high, with the DXY actually consolidating in this critical, crucial zone that we're going to be talking about as well. But more importantly, Bitcoin not doing either of those things. In fact, dumping below its 21-day moving average. Now, is this a major bearish sign, or in fact, are people overreacting in the very, very immediate short term? Okay, guys, we can start off by taking a little itsy-bitsy trip down memory lane to all the way back here in November of the year 2020. Beautiful year, but what we saw Bitcoin do here as we approached our all-time highs for the very first time since the previous bull market that ended for Bitcoin in 2017. We saw Bitcoin knock on the door of 20K, right? Get up into that $19,000 level, get a rejection down to that 21-day moving average, find support for a while, only to do what? That's right, bounce off the 21-day, set a new high, not quite yet a new all-time high, get rejected, actually go back below the 21-day moving average, not down to the 50-day moving average, go a little bit below the 21-day moving average, and initiate massive moon boosters to infinity and beyond. Now guys, before we continue with Bitcoin, let's take a look at what Ethereum is doing here. Right here on this chart is Ethereum's previous all-time high, exactly similar to Bitcoin's $20,000 level. This 1450, 1440-ish level for Ethereum varies on exchanges, is what Ethereum's all-time high is. And now what did we do here? We basically came up here, we touched on the doors here, we didn't quite get there, we got rejected, found support on the 21-day moving average, and look at this, we came and set a higher high, so almost identical to what Bitcoin did just 2 months ago as it was attempting its all-time high. And guys, it's no secret to anybody in this space that so many altcoins, basically everything in the entire crypto market follows Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is like the line leader. Bitcoin is like the line leader most of the time, and all the other cryptos are like the little kids just following behind the line leader, right? Following in the path of the line leader. So is it crazy to think that when Ethereum makes its similar move to its all-time highs on the USD pairing to try to break its all-time high, it pulls back to its 21-day after getting rejection, finding support, and then ultimately enabling it to set a higher high and really just kind of tickle the tips of that all-time high, guys. That's literally exactly what happened. However, what happened last time when Bitcoin did that? You know, it basically touched right on that all-time high, but it did not break above it. It actually took a few weeks, and it also took Bitcoin going back below its 21-day moving average before it could finally get the juice to initiate moon blast off moon mission right here. Now guys, am I saying that's what's going to happen here? Not necessarily, but this is basically so far identical. So there's literally not a single reason on the planet to be even a little bit bearish right now with these price projections. And in fact, as I've been saying for quite a long time, a lot of people don't like hearing this, but as I've been saying, right, I've been saying the market doesn't care what I want, but what I've been saying I want is Bitcoin to revisit $25,000 or $26,000 one more time. Again, I'm still not convinced whatsoever that Bitcoin can go that low, and we're going to talk about targets here of why I don't think that's, you know, completely guaranteed. It's absolutely a possibility here. But at this point, I'm still not convinced that we could get pushed that low. And again, we're going to be getting into that with Bitcoin. But basically my point is here, Ethereum is doing literally exactly what Bitcoin did just 2 months ago as it broke its all-time high. So there's literally nothing to be worried about. And in fact, not only am I not worried, I am still piling into Ethereum because I am extremely bullish on what Ethereum is going to do within the next few weeks, right? A few weeks is not a long amount of time in crypto. It feels like a lifetime, but a few weeks is really, really not that far away. So basically with Ethereum looks very healthy to me, and that's what we're going to be talking about. And Ethereum on the Bitcoin pairing looks absolutely explosive, the most absolutely beautiful chart that I've ever seen in my entire life. But guys, the key here is Bitcoin. So as I just said, let's talk about Bitcoin now. So as we can see here, these key fib levels on even these short time frames, going from the high of about 42,000 to the recent low of about 30K, right, where we've been trading in for about 2 weeks now, we just got another bounce off of this key fib level again, the 382, which we've seen over and over and over again recently, actually multiple times over the past week or so. And that's on the 1 hour chart. And guys, as we've been saying, you can go back and watch yesterday's video. Specifically, we made a big point of saying this, but we've been saying this for videos before that. 34,000 is the big level to break. Now, we did actually dip our toes a little bit below that, but you can see it immediately wicked back up on this hourly chart. We did not get a single hourly close below 34K. Again, that's going to be the key area. Again, I think 34 has a lot of support. Next, 32.5 is actually huge. And then obviously 30,000 is massive for a lot of reasons. The biggest being on these very long-term time frames, that has so much support on these fib levels. But guys, if we go to the 4 hour chart, what's actually happening? So as far as I can tell in the short term, Bitcoin has actually broken down out of this symmetrical triangle that we've been following, right? Have not changed this pattern since we put it on here a few days ago. And as far as I can tell, this to me looks like it has broken down. In fact, what we've actually seen also is we come down to it, right? We've tested this so many times. We come down to it, we break down, and then as basically we always see, we see it pump back up to try to get back above that, and you saw we didn't. So we had like a typical reaction you see when we break out of a pattern. We break down, we try to get back into it, we fail, and then a bigger pullback happens. But you can see the pullback actually didn't end up so far being that drastic. And again, one of the main reasons I think that is, besides technical analysis, fundamentally, like Grayscale, all these institutions are just buying so much Bitcoin, they're locking it up, they're taking it off exchanges, and you can see that on the on-chain data. So basically my point is, a lot of this Bitcoin that you might wonder like, well, why aren't people selling it? A lot of this Bitcoin that people have and institutions have, they're not doing that. They're not selling it. They're just locking it up. They're taking it off exchanges. They're not selling it. So again, that's another reason that I think fundamentally this sell pressure is a little bit lower than we could expect here. I was honestly a little surprised. When we initially broke this, I thought, here we go. Maybe we'll see a nice dump to 30,000. And we simply didn't yet. Again, it's still completely possible. But yeah, it's just something I'm waiting for. And we just see just how not volatile Bitcoin is, guys. Because normally, and I've been watching these charts for a long time, usually when you see a very almost clear break like this, usually the price swings a little more dramatically in that direction when it breaks. And we simply haven't seen that yet. Again, I'm not counting that out just yet. In fact, I kind of hope that scenario happens. I'm hoping that we go down and retest 30K again, maybe even go a little bit below that. As I've been saying for weeks, I think that would be my favorite target. But again, market doesn't care that I want that. And again, I just don't 100%, I'm not 100% convinced that scenario even makes a lot of sense. So with that being said, we've technically, as far as I can tell, we've broken out of this pattern, but there's just really not enough sell pressure so far to push it lower. Okay, guys. But again, 32,000 is just a huge target here. For me, coming down here on this chart, you can see 32 is right here. It's the next level of support. We've been bouncing right on this line for quite a large amount of time. 32 is also this fib level. This specifically is like 32.5, but it's the 236 of this entire swing over the last few weeks. So even breaking 34 isn't necessarily detrimental for Bitcoin price at all. In fact, the slower Bitcoin consolidates like this, guys, honestly, the better. You see Bitcoin kind of becoming stable. You see it becoming less and less volatile. Some people get bored with that. And I admit, it is kind of boring when you look at these charts and Bitcoin, even some people are like, yes, finally, let's get a breakdown. Let's break down here. And basically what happens is Bitcoin just decides, oh, I'll move maybe like $500. A few hours go by, maybe it'll move another $500. So it's a little underwhelming, but that's perfectly healthy, especially in this bull trend, right? Exactly actually what you want to look for. And guys, with that being said, on this more zoomed out daily chart, the $30,000 level is also big for me here. And again, this would kind of just correlate to what we saw when Bitcoin broke its all-time high of about 20,000. We had 2 attempts here and they both got rejected. It was a high and then a higher high, but then we had a low and a higher low. So again, seeing something like this happen, play out, maybe come back down to $30,000, $31,000, $32,000 again, perfect consolidation. That's absolutely fine. Again, this could still take another week or so, which again is probably going to bore some people, but it's a realistic, healthy scenario that is in fact not bearish whatsoever. So if you ask me the question, am I bearish right now? Absolutely not. I would love to see Bitcoin even go lower, and long term that would be better for Bitcoin. Now, if you're thinking, geez, this guy's just an absolute moon boy, when is he going to get bearish? Honestly, the only area that I would get bearish is if we come back down to 20,000 US dollars, which is exactly where the 21-week moving average is, which is basically exactly where we should be bouncing for Bitcoin's price, right? So we're already so high above a lot of these targets that to me, it's absolutely ridiculous that anyone's bearish yet. Because in the entire last bull run of 2016 into 2017 that ended in 2018, we bounced on the 21-week moving average. I think it was like 6 times over the period of like 12 or 18 months or something like that. So guys, you can see just how, I mean, we're obviously so high above that right now. We are still like $15,000 above that level. So if you look at me and think, well, $27,000 seems like a huge pullback, it's really not. We're still very high above this 21-week. So again, if you would ask me the question, when would you get bearish? I would get bearish if we plummeted down to 20K, or even if we kind of tiptoed down over the next few weeks, like in a longer process. If we came down to this 20K again and then failed that, then I would be absolutely bearish. Then I would think, wow, nothing makes sense to me anymore. I was not expecting this. I have to reevaluate everything. But until that happens, everything that I've been expecting has just made total sense so far. So until we break the 21-week moving average and go below, it's actually a little under 20K. It's like 19K right now. Until we go below 19K, to me, there's literally no reason to be bearish. Now, could you say, could we be bearish in the next 2 to 3 days? Absolutely, right? Breaking to 27,000 US dollars technically is bearish. But in the wider context of things, it's just bullish consolidation in a strong bull market. So that's basically that. So the targets still, I mean, they haven't really changed over the last 3 days. 34,000 is a big level to hold, 32,500, then 30,000. And if we break 30,000, that's where things get really interesting, because anything below 30,000, I think, is going to be huge in terms of volatility. I don't think we're going to like hit 29K and then the next day we'll hit 28K or something like that. If we break 30K, I think most of the consolidation and most of the drop will be 100% complete, and we'll be back above 30K within a 24-hour window. Wow, so if you guys are new to the channel and you love gainers, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Make sure to turn on that bell notification so you get updates when we go live or post new videos. Keep in mind, guys, I'm going to be moving within the next probably about a month, maybe month and a half max here. And I'm going to have a different everything, going to be moving to a house, and yeah, going to be changing up the content and hopefully just doing a lot more live streams and stuff like that. So yeah, make sure you have that bell turned on. And for anybody interested in trading, experienced traders only, and if you want to support the channel, but there's up to an additional $625 or $620 for trading on Bybit using my link below, and all of the instructions are in the pinned comment below.